Welcome back. And now, with the advent of the internet, there seems to be a steady decline in the reading culture of most youth. Now, the big question is, when last did you buy a book off the shelf? And when last did you pick up a book to read? How about an e-book on the internet? Let's welcome Amed Demirhan, Director, AUN Library. You're welcome on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, there are fundamental questions that were asked there. When last did you buy a book off the shelf?
Well, I have been given several books recently as a gift by others, including by American Library Association. They have sent me gifts, and actually I had to buy one book, but my choice is e-book, to be honest.
So all of these books...
avoid to buy print. I'm sorry to say that. Unless I have to.
But
if I don't have a choice, if I don't have any choice,
okay,
I will buy a print. But as long e-version available, it will be e.
Now, of all of these books that were sent to you as gifts,
yes.
Now, have you read any of?
Yeah, I have been reading it.
So you still have the reading part,
my professional subject.
All right.
So I have to keep up with that. But my preference, of course, is e-book.
Right, you would agree that yes, there's been a steady decline of people kind of handling books, buying books off the shelf because of the great innovation of e-library and all of this. No.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, physical book reading has been seriously declined, and that's why we moved to e version, and that's e is. We even can't say it's future, it's here. So the question what happened usually is misconception, what's a book? A book, it doesn't mean this square thing, we have paper, a bunch of pages you put together, and then you cover them and become book. Actually, that's not the case. A book is about the content, what's in it, what's written. So the book, we know it, is this one what we know, we call it current format, is last 200 years format, mostly last 80 years format, some of them. And it has been changing from writing in the rock, in the cave, writing on the wood, writing in the cow skin, in goat skin, writing in papyrus, and so on. Format has been changing, but most of us grow up with this. We think this is always has been the case. This is always the book. So, and now we have a new format. It's called e-book. It's electronic. It's the same information you have in the paper. Exact same information can be e.
No dispute.
So the content is the same.
No dispute to that. No dispute to that. But the point here is, as you said, people were used to the square thing called book, and that was what we regarded as a book then.
Yes.
Now we're seeing a whole new innovation that is basically electronic, which is a new idea. Now, but let's look at it from a more kind of holistic perspective. It's bringing a developing country into the context here. Now, how much would it cost someone to get a tablet to access an electronic material on the internet?
Well, the question is more than tablet. There's many different versions of the tablets. Like in India, they have been developing the tablet is much less expensive. Let's say 15,000 naira or about 20,000 naira tablets out there. There are some other companies, electronic companies, they try to develop tablets targeted African market, more affordable. So the question always people ask, how much that will cost? The question is how you gonna use it. For example, this is my smartphone. When was new last year, I bought $670, is nearly what? 100,000 naira. Okay. Yeah, if I use this one as a phone, is awful expensive. I don't think any smart human being should buy something like that and use as a phone. Because any of those small phones, they can do exactly the same purpose. But if I am using this one as a scanner, as a photocopy machine on the go, as of my book collection, personal library, my library here, so I am traveling, I have a time, I'm going to read my book. So I will go and read my book.
You do everything on real time.
And I will use my email instantly, regardless where I am. I get my email, whether personal or professional. I am responding. I am socializing with my friends through Facebook. I'm telling them where I am, how I am doing, and so on.
The whole electronic media, and it has utmost advantage.
Yes.
But at the same time, there are disadvantages of it.
Okay.
Some of the disadvantages people say is that it has made some students lazy. You hardly find a student who would pick up his smartphone, go through the e-library, scroll to a particular book and start reading without Facebook popping up, hi, and you get distracted.
Yes.
Now, you can't say this for anything and anybody in social environment. Even without electronic media, we all have been students, we all have done it. I used to just get out of my house because when I am studying, somebody is calling me, my friend say, hey Ahmed, how are you? Let's go do something. Wow, cool, it's science attractive, let's do it. We all do it, regardless.
No, but the point is, if you have a book that you're reading and your phone is far from you, you'll concentrate more. You would not have any distraction. So holding a book literally,
this is about the discipline. It's about behavior. This machine is neutral. It's neither good nor bad by itself. But how you use it is going to have a consequence for outcome.
All right.
It's the same. We use Facebook for library, for example. We have a library, Facebook, American University, Nigeria Library, and invite everybody, come join. We post things there and share information and resources in the Facebook. We ideally would like to make our library Facebook as a reference information desk in traditional library, that people actually come post. We are not there yet. We are just right now mostly feeding information that about AUN, about the library, about our student, our staff. We're building our social community. But the same Facebook people use for many other purpose. You see, this is the purpose, how you use it.
Let's get it now. Is it easy? Is it easy for you to develop a personal library of the internet? Just the way we have the conventional library that everyone
actually, it's much easier. And I tell you how. In recent study shows there is 27 million academic item available in the internet for use, free. We call them in library literature open access. So 27 million there.
All right.
And now to understand this, what it means 27 million, I can tell you most countries' national library in the world has a less than 1 million collection. Only few libraries in the world have a more than 20 million physical collection, and you can count them not more than 10, 15 libraries in the whole world. So 27 million is enormous level of information there.
Well, it's not everybody that have that opportunity or that have, the access to getting some of the smartphones to access the internet, to get this information or these books from the internet. Yeah. That means we have to come back to the conventional library.
No,
where you have to get, you have access to the books at a cheaper rate at when you want it.
No, the question, physical books, first of all, are more expensive. If you are a frequent reader, the cost of, say, 100 books, it will exit cost of the smartphone and tablet. So it will make more sense to do that. And the other issue is this. Let's be realistic. Does everybody in Nigeria has a car? No.
Of course not.
It doesn't mean we have to give up on car because everybody doesn't have it. But what we ideally would like, everybody should have the opportunity of transportation, one form or the other.
So,
So the thing is what need to be done, what I have been calling it, we have to develop and follow this idea of e-thinking, electronic thinking, e-thinking. When we think about items, we have to not become our victim of our habit of thinking physical.
no, but while we're trying to think E,
Yeah.
there are other challenges that comes with that. When we have to think about the cost, because not everybody can afford some of these things.
That's why we have a government, that's why we have NGOs, that's why we have a public universities, public schools.
Maybe that is in your country and having some...
No, in Nigeria too. Nigerian government is not exempt from responsibility.
Of course not. But
So-
possibly we don't have some of these facilities around
You
for
can
people
do
to
it.
use.
You see, the question what I say e-thinking, which I did presentation for Ministry of Education executive. By thinking E, by changing your priorities, by changing your financial, allocating your financial resources to right place. Instead of, for example, I've been told in Adamawa State elementary school alone they spent 350 million naira for elementary school book. Why? By doing e-thinking, and with this 350 million, you could supply book to entire Adamawa from K-12, not just elementary school.
But you know, Ahmed,
That has to be changed. We have to make a structural changes to go to new idea. We cannot do all the way and go forward. It's not going to work.
well, we still have to look at, you know, the advantages of having a personal library in your home.
Wonderful.
We
Here is
still-
your personal library. It's in my pocket. It's not in my home anymore.
Maybe
My
having
personal
books on
library-
your
look,
shelves.
Look, this is my box. It's in my shelf. This is
They're
my
on your
shelf.
shelf.
Yeah, this is my book.
But
I
by
can-
and large,
do you want me to open one of them for
Ahmed,
you?
Ahmed, let's have
here's-
another
here's
rethink.
my
here.
book.
Let's have another rethink here. We know that reading, the square thing we call a
Yeah.
book,
Yeah.
is used for recreation. People spend time, go out, sit down and relax,
course,
kind of
good.
exchange.
Okay, here it is, recreation. Let me get my recreation here. I'm now having fun. I can't read
You
any
know,
book.
all we're driving at, Ahmed, all we're driving at is, you know, getting people
Yeah.
back to, we can just throw the culture of reading books
Books.
away because we now have, you know, equipment or facilities that can access the internet and you get all the books you want in the world.
Yeah. Not all the book on the world, 27 million item learning resources.
So we still have some
This
left.
is like more than Harvard physical collection. So you have a Harvard in your pocket.
You know, I still have a lot of problem associated with this, and that was why I pointed out to the issue of cost. When you're going E,
Yeah.
you have to look at the cost, and you also have to look at the suitability, for the sustainability of some certain factors.
Exactly.
Talking about access to internet.
Yes.
Access to internet is a problem, and aside access to internet,
Okay.
you have to look at the environment. A lot of people live in the remote areas.
It's
And
much
a huge
easier.
problem.
That's why even it makes much more sense. You can send things like this, and there's much cheaper version of this.
If you
by the
don't,
way.
if you don't have
to
light,
villages,
sorry, Ahmed, if you don't have light to recharge
Electricity.
this, if you don't have the access to internet to use, you have to use your money to use your data to get
No,
access
the
to some of
things
those
that-
things.
Look, there's two things we shouldn't mix together. There's one, the people who can afford to buy for themselves, like people who buy car.
All right.
Anybody who buy car, they can buy this. Okay, can we agree on this? This is much cheaper than any car.
Yeah, it's much
Even,
cheaper.
even moped or bicycle, almost. But the other one, the places that don't have a mean and people who don't have, my heart goes to them, and that is responsibility philanthropist, responsibility of government, responsibility NGO to make sure they get the access.
Now,
That
if they
is
don't
something,
get this support,
our social responsibility, everybody who can and able to do it.
now if they don't get this kind of support,
Yeah.
The
what
only
then? What
alternative-
alternative should they fall back to? Should they
No,
keep
they already don't have it.
Yes.
We're not talking like you taking away something from anybody. We're talking about providing, expanding services and opportunities. And that's why if we have invest and we put this e-environment in our thinking, which I call e-thinking or mobile thinking. We just don't think about this as a phone. This is a library. This is your scanner, your photocopier, your sound recorder, your video recorder, your camera, your social media, your email communication, so on and so forth. Then make life much easier.
All right.
Then
okay.
you have the idea, you can do it.
Okay, Ahmed, on that note, would like to say thank you.
Thank you.
on the program.
Thank you.
That was an easy cracking Amed Demirhan out of the EU culture. Well, that was Amed Demirhan, director of a library, AUN. He spoke on the need to develop your own personal library, even though he's on the issue of
The e-library.
the e-library. But you can develop your own personal collection by keeping up some few conventional books. It's good for you. For those of you who have had the opportunity of serving our fatherland as a core member, this next segment is a must-watch for you. Why? Find out after the break.